My name is Dana Cunningham, and my son is Calvin Thompson, and he's a freshman at Duke University.
My name is Kwame Morris. I'm the father of Miles Malcolm Morris, who is a freshman at NYU University this year.
Dwayne Tyndall. My child is named Tahira Shalek, and she's a freshman at Emory University.
My name is Jennifer Kilson Page. I'm the mother of Rihanna Page, who's at Bridgewater State University as a freshman.
My name is Denise Rhodes. My top child is Gianna Gray. She is a freshman at Center College in Kentucky.
It changed it completely. I mean, he started in the 9th grade, I believe, or maybe it was the 8th grade. His brother had been in African American scholars, and so he was familiar with what was going on around math, what was beginning. And he enrolled with his entire group of friends in the calculus project, and it made math cool and fun. At least that's what I saw.
It was able to create an image of success or model success for him in a way that he could see himself. So he went through a K through 8 program where there were no successful models in math that looked like him, not in the faculty or in his student peers. So he was quite frightened of math by the time he reached the high school. Before we became part of the calculus project, he told me he wanted to, instead of going to honors math, he wanted to go into this math program where instead of it being theoretical, there was a practical element to it. And I asked him why he wanted to do that. And he said because he thought it would be easier and it would be too hard to do an honors program another way. But by the end of the program, by his first few months in the program, after his first summer, he had a confidence level. He saw himself as a successful math student, as a math scholar. And that was a huge transition. So the calculus project basically had to undo 6 years of sort of bad influences on him in terms of math.
The calculus project gave her tremendous confidence because she was surrounded by a community of peers and teachers who believed in her. And as she moved through the sequence of classes through the high school years, she really not only mastered the material, but she believed in herself as a math student and believed that she was capable of succeeding in the subject.
So she was able to deal with a subject that wasn't her strength, but since she had support and help, she was able to really excel in math. And she was able to do it in the context of a community, of a cohort that was basically with her from 7th grade on in this process.
It gave her confidence. It let her know that we always knew she was a bright child. So it gave her the confidence to know, I can do this. I can challenge myself. I may struggle a little bit, but it's okay. I can reach the goal with a little bit of support. So that's how it helped her.
I think one of the most important things, particularly for African American and Latino kids, is that they have the support of their teachers and other adults and of their peers. And that's actually what the Calculus Project did for the kids. It created a group of kids who were really committed to achieving high grades and doing well in math, and that was a source of pride for all of them. And I think that is a stronger support than anything else a kid can find in high school. So my very strong suggestion is that parents seek out the Calculus Project and seek out adult mentors and steer them towards kids also who are motivated and interested in math.
They have to be involved. The biggest thing and the hardest thing for a parent to do is to be involved. And involved with the teachers, involved with the program, involved with their children, of course, in a supportive way. But it's a hard thing to do because you've got your 9 to 5, or 9 to 8 even. You've got to work, but you have to be involved. It's a big process. It's a process that really should take everyone. And I think when your child sees that you're committed to it, they become doubly committed. It becomes a community, and Calculus Project is. It's a very close community. The kids inspire each other. They support each other. It's an amazing thing. And parents, as a part of that process, really, it really helps a great deal.
Support, participation, is really almost like a family community process, a community affair. So the interaction with the teachers, being aware where your child's strengths and weaknesses, and this, they may be stronger in trig, but not in geometry, and what type of added support you could give to your child.
It's really important to get to know the teachers. They're selected to work with our kids, and they're an incredible team. And I think it's important that teachers see parents as partners in this effort. I think it's also really important to encourage our kids because they're taking advanced level classes. And it's really important to make sure that they are understanding that they're capable of doing it. And when they have second guess moments where they question whether or not they can, that they absolutely can. So really encouraging them outside of the classroom experience as a parent is really critical.
Just make sure you communicate with your child. Just make sure that you're always asking them questions. Make sure that they're getting their homework done. If they're struggling with something, make sure that you reach out to the teacher and just say, how can I support you? Make sure they're getting plenty of rest. Sometimes they don't always get it the first time. The way I did math is totally different than what they're learning now. And it's okay if you can't help them, but let them know I'm here to support you and help you get through this.
One of my biggest frustrations before encountering the Calculus Project was low teacher expectations. I think that is just a killer of children's motivation. And when the Calculus Project came into our lives, the teachers just demanded, not just expected, but demanded that my son Calvin would be a math scholar. There was no other option. And that set of expectations was very powerful for him. One of the most important things, I think, is high expectations. When my younger son was in elementary school, he asked me one day why teachers thought that brown and black kids could not learn, that he absorbed that lesson from teachers. And so I'm saying that to say that children get that early and often, particularly children of color. And for teachers to be able to express an entirely different kind of attitude, as I said before, demanding that the students be good scholars, expecting it, and treating them as if they are learning machines, as if they are just sponges that soak everything up. I think that's the most important thing for teachers to understand.
The teachers were phenomenal. They were committed. It's a pretty big commitment. They were committed. They were all working their own jobs, and they're doing this, I think, in addition. But they were also encouraging. It takes a great deal of encouragement in the beginning. And they were available. They were available. And available for the children, available for the parents. And again, it's the same as the parents being involved. That sort of level of commitment is clear to the children. They see that. They see the commitment from the teachers, they see the commitment from the parents, and the commitment from their peers, and it really feeds into this communal aspect of this project.
It's a community. I mean, the cohort over time, over years, became like a family. So, as in all families, is the level of participation that you bring to the process that you bring out of it. So in my years of participating in the process, I've seen the closeness and the intensity of the teachers involved in my daughter's life. And in return, it's a mutual respect that you have for the amount of work and energy it takes to actually bring this process together.
They were phenomenal. They were always a resource whenever I had a question. They were also an incredible resource to my daughter, both in and outside of the classroom. And what I saw happen with Rihanna was that she saw her teachers not only as her subject teachers, but as a resource that she could tap, even if she just wanted to go and say hello. So I think for her, it was her first time where she saw teachers both in and out of the classroom as a resource that were accessible to her at any time. So it was incredibly positive.
I loved everyone. I just loved them because my oldest went to Brookline High and they didn't have the calculus project back then. So now that my youngest had this experience, I can tell the difference between the two educations, and I wish they had the calculus project back then. Like the teachers were great. They always kept in touch. If she was having trouble with something, here's a resource, have her come at this time. They were always there to support the kids.
First, it gave him confidence. I think the calculus project really helped him feel overall that he was a learner and a scholar, and he could do well in challenging courses overall. He became a tutor, and so he tutors kids in math. And so this sense of responsibility and sense of community that he feels as a result of the calculus project, that's another part of it. So that also really helped prepare him for college. And then the last thing is, I think, being part of a group of students who are working together to achieve something. That was also very important for him. And I think I can hear it in his, when he calls home, I can hear him talking about his studies and his study buddies. And it seems like those habits have stuck with him.
He's a math scholar. He is a scholar, period. First of all, it went a long way to garnering him all the scholarships that he got offered. He was offered a scholarship from almost every single school that he got into. It shows in his SAT scores. He scored a 720 on his math SATs, which is phenomenal. It showed on his MCATs. But in college specifically, it really helped his assurance, the assurance and the self-confidence that he has walking in the door that he can handle any subject, math, science, English. I mean, this didn't help with English, but it helped a great deal with the technical aspects of his classes, but also in all the money that he garnered walking in the door. That was a big part. This was a big part of that.
It's prepared her. I've already seen two critical ways. One was this past summer. She was accepted to a summer bridge program at Bridgewater, and there were 16 students that were selected, and part of the criteria was to get an advanced level placement on the math test. And due to the calculus project, she absolutely placed high enough to be admitted. The second place I see it is in her level of confidence as a student. She's a biology pre-med major at Bridgewater State. And her confidence in herself going in being able to approach teachers, and being able to feel like she's already mastered calculus because she's taking calculus honors as a freshman and is finding that it's easy. Those are all really attributable to the experience she had in the calculus project.
She's taking Calc 1. She did well on her first test, and she actually said to me, Brookline High and the calculus project prepared her for college. So she's doing really well. So I'm very proud. And she got a 4-year academic scholarship. So the calculus project was definitely part of that.
I just want to say that I think the calculus project is an extraordinary project. On one level, it's very simple, and on one level, it's very complicated. That all it really takes is for teachers to be truly committed and invested in the kids, and it makes a world of difference.
One of the parts that I think can be skipped over and all you're going to hear about the calculus project, but it's important for there to be a central figure. I talk about this because it's communal, and it is communal. In our program, it was Adrian Mims. So he was the person that we all focused all our energy on. And we saw the energy he gave back. It sent everybody, and everyone worked even harder. So in every program, there really does need to be this one central figure who kids can rally around.
I believe that the calculus program is a cutting edge tool for not just for Black and Latino children, but for all children. The math deficit in America is real across all lines, maybe in some groups more than others, but with community support and resources, not just Black children, but all children can excel in math, in high-level math.
It has to continue. And if there are also ways that we can extend beyond math into other subjects, that would be terrific, because it's a model that works. It's a model that builds a community around children that I think is so important, and it creates a culture in which kids, again, not just master the mathematical material, but mentally the strength and the confidence that they develop during their period of time in the program carries forth not only in high school but beyond. And even, it's Rihanna's second month in college, and I can already see her level of confidence, and part of that is attributed to the work that she did in the program.
I just think it's a great program. I encourage parents to make sure that their kids are taking advantage of it. I had to make the decision for my daughter, and she actually said, "Mother knows best," and I will never forget those words. So we do know a little.